Here we are at Shadow Serpentis fleet staging point, stage 1. I'm going to do it in a Vexor. Let's swap over there. So here is the fit. It's completely passive. The idea is long range targeting, long range and long range drone. So I can look up farther away. I can send my drones. I have the wrong rig. As I see, it's a speed rig. I would rather prefer trying to get it with an additional jumper rig for more resistances, but with manual piloting, it would be possible to do anyway, which we also will do. Let's get in. And the reason is I'm not going for the speed rig. I have like 50 meter per second less, but at the same time, start orbiting. And I'm gonna go for the Grand Admiral because fair long range and instantly will red box you, start shooting. The idea is the faster you go and the smaller your signature, you can speed tank that way, the less damage you do. However, at some point, if your angle is right, NPC are gonna start shooting on you. Obviously, the idea is move faster through that angle and have a smaller angle to that, or the not correct angle to that, correct angle to that NPC. So if they're not gonna hit you if you're moving pretty much, or not orbiting them, but if you're moving like transversal. However, here is the issue. There are neutralizing towers spawning in if I recall, in the second pocket in the first stage, and they're gonna newt you out. 100 men using too much capacity for that reason. So you need to keep with 10 men. If you're 10 men, you don't need that much of a big radius, and you will be moving slower across your orbits. Therefore, taking down battleship as fast as possible, especially the long-range one, is your kind of key. I would rather prefer moving transversal on a transversal, like in the angle and not being hit at all. But I don't want to avoid it, and I want to do it as fast as possible. The full first stage would take about 35 minutes to finish. However, you do not create any hit on you because you're sitting in a Vexor. Maybe somebody starts scanning you, maybe not. For the most part, Vexor, if it's not in a usual anomaly, which you can simply see on your D-scan, for the most part, they're not gonna start looking for you unless they're PvPers and have a cop launcher with them, specifically expanded cop launcher with combat props. And the full fit, if we check the price, is only 35.5 mil, which is next to nothing. So it is replaceable. However, 35 means a lot of time, and I would suggest if you do it professionally, I would suggest getting a little bit more DPS, like a Tango or something, T3C. T3 Destroyer, I don't think it will be possible to run with those. Simply those neutralizing towers have huge amount of HP for the one. You don't have the firepower for one, and for second, you don't have the tank for. Maybe you have the tank, but anyway, you will be neutralizing the second room, and that might be something to consider. So my idea to drop the speed rig, the propulsion rig, is get more resistances. Let's get in the theory. So if I drop the rig, I'm going for 656 to 611 meters per second, so like about 50 meters per second less. And if I add additional turmeric, my resistances slightly go up. So from 51 to 64, which is not necessarily a lot, but it kind of will keep you alive. Then again, my signature is also going up. I could counterbalance that one signature getting up with isotropic sustained shield extenders. They have a smaller signature, but they also do provide bonuses, such bonuses as large shield extender do. Defection shield extenders are maybe not too expensive, but at the same time they kind of overkill, and they're gonna be more expensive for the ship itself, and by the ship I mean for the hull you're using. I mean, if it was like a T3C, I would reconsider one. If it was T2 ship, I would probably I would go with a T2 or with affection extenders. But anyway, that one doesn't require such. It's perfectly capable to run those sites as it is. Okay, let's skill the better cruiser. I want to go for the destroyers. They will apply destroyers as soon as they come in range, but they do not do a lot of damage in comparison to better cruiser. Better cruiser is like 75% of our battleship damage. And that battleship is anyway short range, but he is already in a range to shoot at me, therefore red boxing. Okay, probably I can start shooting at that one. Yep, applying damage slowly. If I recall one of those triggers, I don't know which one, I believe it's battleship, but no guarantees. So we're gonna proceed killing one after each other, one after another, and see what's happening. I do not know any single trigger here in the side, so I will proceed slightly different. If it's staying away for another target. And I mean, not a target, not a danger, because we do not have range. We need to be at 30 or closer to do some damage. The battleship, on the other hand, is very close, and we can even try to shoot with the gun. The gun with max skill level applies only up to 50 DPS if the target is in range in the optimal. And so that's my DPS 446, and the other two, actually it's 489. Well, it might be less with reload, I don't know, but with along with the drones, which I can send up to 75 or even more kilometers away, I have 450 DPS. So the gun is kind of a nice addition, but it is not a necessity. I mean, if you're orbiting a battleship with 10 kilometers radius, well, you can apply. Yeah, the battleship was the trigger. Can apply a lot. So let's look again the Grand Corps Admirals. Will be Penalty S again. And I think I need to manual balancing right now, so let's do that way. Keep the transversal up, and I'm already taking damage. Let's see for how long. I need to pop at least out those 3 battleships, then I will be stable, or should be stable. Okay, what about that? Let's pop the one. So also, I'm not going with a short range damage on the railguns. Simply, it is not viable. My orbital radius, for the most part, is more than that. Therefore, I do not need it. Okay, let's do a little bit different angle again. So like 90%, if you have a 90% degree to battleships, you should be fine at the point. As soon as this destroyers come to, like, let's say 29 kilometers, I would start using my grounded one. My optimal is only 29. No, optimal is 23, and I can shoot up to 29. So between 23 and 29, I'm doing significantly less damage. Okay, let's go there. Anything close? Yes, here we are. 2 targets in our reach. Anyway, those range guns do decent damage, and if I load more shorter range damage with more DPS, currently I'm using the Spike, I could use Void. Unfortunately, Void is very short, and by very short I mean it will more than half my range. I will be under 10 kilometers or something, which I do not prefer. I prefer staying away from enemies. Although if there's a single battleship, I need to get close to apply more amount of damage to run the side faster. I would have considered one. So, do I want to rush those battleships? That's the question right now. Maybe in fact I do. Okay, let's rush those. I'm gonna take a little bit damage, but it isn't that terrible. As soon as I orbit one, it should be fine. However, I will switch after that battleship dies for the BCs. BC will always apply. Here we go. Let's get those couple of battle cruisers. Since those battleships are kind of slow, they will staying pretty much in the middle. Some might burn out, slowly drifting out with 97 meters per second, which is not fast. I'm like a couple meters per second faster. I'm shooting to one target. Let's go drones for the battle cruiser because that will apply damage. I don't care about battleship right now. So here we are. Down. Next, battleships. I don't know which battleship I'm currently orbiting. Let's go orbiting that one so we can do this, and then that, maybe. Is it a kill? Yes, kill report, Stormbringer. So Fraternity is here in the region, but I'm not a target, to be honest. For the most part, such people are gonna start ignoring me. I don't think he even has combat props with him that tank over that protest over there. So the main issue I have with this current escalation, it's on the border of fountain, and which means it can go into the middle of fountain. It can completely escalate out of fountain, which I'm kind of afraid of. The escalation itself might gonna get you, but well, the first stage at least, there's no faction load. It might gonna get you only maybe 35 mil or something, depending on the bounty 25, slightly more. But I'm doing not for the money in the first and the second stage. There is no faction loot whatsoever, usually. I'm doing it because of the third stage. The third stage, you can do it in a battleship, Marauder, Black Ops, T3C, and also in capital ships, because there's no acceleration gate. You can straight go for the third stage directly for the tower. You can do it in a carrier. People were doing it previously, but also in a dreadnought, and obviously in a super carrier and Titan, because with those you can one-shot the things. Take a little bit damage. I'm going to start orbiting the acceleration gate. Now I'm burning pretty much in straight line, and I'm going to take some damage, obviously, because of that. Or I don't care. So if I recall, next wave, so the first wave spawns the structure, the second wave spawns in between those two structures. The third wave, I believe, is also somewhere over there or on the gate itself. I can't recall exactly. Okay, let's go for the destroyer. Even if it's their third wave, I can't recall exactly. And yep, no wave. So get your drones in, approach the acceleration gate. We need to go on the second pocket. So on the two waves, bottom spike, just in case. The second room is a little bit different. And by a little bit, a lot of different. So I will need manual piling from the start on. I mean, I can orbit, but it does wisely. Come on, here we are. Let's go in. There is no beacon where we warp in, but it's the same position every single time. So it's you can drop a container with an orbited one, but then you will need to deal with sentry towers again and with those battleships approaching. So I do like to burn over there, keep transfers onto that battleships as much as I can. And there's two neutralizing towers. I will need to kill them instantly because they nuke about 75 gigajoule and I have a large cap battery, so I'm cap stable for now, but as soon as the first tower dies, I will be completely cap stable. Right now, I am not. Let's see, can I pop something? Yes, those cruisers as soon destroys. I mean, as soon as they come closer, I will start shooting them. And second, which we will need to go are the cruise missiles batteries over there. They're not tanky in comparison to neutralizing towers, but they still hurt. Still hurt because they will constantly apply damage. There is a structure over there. You can orbit that one. And let's see. So I'm going to start orbiting that one. I will take less damage through battleships or by battleships, but I will still need to deal with the battleships as soon as possible. I'm going to ignore those point defense arrays. They do not do damage, to be honest. so you can completely ignore them from the start on. Shoot the target. The drone should go for this for the sentries, and with one single energy neutralizer, I'm stable. I do not care about those that one single neutralizer left. So that's the beauty of that one. It has the neutralizer has a shit ton of HP. However, I do not care. Here we are. I need to start killing those battleships. They instantly apply damage, or constantly apply damage. And soon the battle cruisers on top of me too. Let's go. And here we are. Go Grand Admiral. And that's the long range battleships. Okay, let's switch for the battleships like instantly. Yep, doing a lot of damage that one. Okay, let's see. Yeah, not looking great, but I'm not dying yet. Time has not come yet, so we'll see how it goes. And also the short range battleship is there and the battle cruisers. Now, what I'm gonna do for, I don't know, probably I'm gonna still stay on the long range battleships as much as I can. Let's go. Although I could go for the battleships over here, but it's a short range, and if I go for short range battleship, the long range will still always hit. So that's kind of a math which I cannot solve right now. So you have spawned somewhere about here or over there, and the next wave will be somewhere about there, like 100 kilometers away from you from this point, about 80 or so. So you will need to burn in or to get your initial spawn, so you have like 60 kilometers range to the next battleship wave. My usual attempts, drop a container, start orbiting that one. I still have to deal with the battleships and with the towers and what's not, so I was in the armor there. But then the wave spawned pretty close. I didn't need to burn in, but the issues is still there. So I would like prefer staying here for now and see how it goes. Okay, one long range less. So those 25 or so, or like 50 meters per second more with the rig do not benefit me. I do have less signature, but at the same time I have also less HP and resistances by that. Therefore, I would rather prefer more resistances. Okay, maybe I can start shooting that one, since I'm orbiting that one at my optimal. Okay, what next? You're gonna go for the battleship or the battlecruiser? I think battlecruiser will be the wiser idea. We'll see. I hope the next wave doesn't spawn yet. So you see the sentry tower doesn't do any DPS whatsoever. It doesn't attack drones unless you warp out because you are low armor or what's not. And therefore I'm completely ignoring that one. So you kind of can go by what doesn't kill you make you stronger, and those Serpentis point defense batteries do not kill you. Very quickly, they only apply like 0 DPS, 0 damage, so who cares? Okay, that one is good. Next, battle cruiser. So I can recharge my shields a little bit unless the battleship will do a critical on me. But it is kind of in the middle of the structure, so if I'm orbiting, I should be fine for 95% of the time. You don't say. My modules run out of ammo. Okay, let's kill the tower finally, because that was still applying damage. Okay, let's go for the battleship. So the second wave spawns about over there, 100 kilometers away, and the third wave will spawn back to the cargo hole, to the cargo rings, so in this position. And you don't even need to finish the next wave. You can go for the last wave, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I recall. I just don't recall the spawners, and so the triggers on that one. I believe it's the destroyers. If I'm correct. We'll see it in a minute. And here we are. Second wave. I'm gonna go for the destroyers. If I recall correctly, where are the triggers? Or better cruisers, I can recall which ones. One way to find out. Wow, that was painful. Still hitting those long-range battleships. Okay, let's get a slightly different angle. God damn, they do apply. Well, yeah, should be fine, for now at least. Okay, what... I believe that was destroyers, which will trigger the next wave, but not sure. Let's see. Oh, not destroyers. Okay, Let's clear the wave then. Last long-range battleship, and if the wave doesn't spawn, I will need to clear those two battleships too. But yeah, neutralizing tower, I completely ignored one. It kind of goes by minus 70 gigajoule every single second, or every 4 seconds or so. I don't know, but it looked like every single second or so. But still, I'm regenerating enough capacitor, so or rather say, my afterburner doesn't require that much since it's not 100 men. Okay. Can I go on the sharp over angle on the battleship without taking damage? That's the question. More like an answer for. And I will need to return over there too again. Nope, didn't spawn yet. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna start burning in for those structures. Maybe I need to orbit somewhere closer. I think that one will be the perfect position that I'm particularly caring about it. I just need some orbit. Maybe I'm gonna go straight for that that structure over there. Let's see. Let's go to wreck, which is easy to target, I think. And let's drift by. And we are out of gun range. So yeah, I'm not worrying any longer for hitting armor. There's nothing what could easily kill me unless I have DC, and by that point I will still be able to warp out. Here we go, next wave. Looks like the standard wave. Same idea. I think I'm gonna hit Cograt Emerald first, so is long range for long range. And eye for the eye. The Beta Cruiser will still hit, destroyers will apply too, they're close to me, but battleships not so much. As soon as I start orbiting, still kind of burning in, so should be fine. Let's see, 5. Then again, that's Fountain. That is Fountain. Soul of those Fountain? Yeah, looks like. Okay, let's kill the Beta Cruiser and go for the destroyers. Take the application away, so I'm not bleeding shield anymore. And stage number 2 of the escalation. I don't even need to clear the last battleship. Awesome. So let's see. I hope it spawned some. Wait a second. I've got the drones. Here we go. And it has spawned creation. Well, perfect. It's Fountain, so the gamble did pay out and went to Fountain. Thank you for watching. See you next time.